Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about right now is the struggle and how the struggle is real about when our friends and family make fun of us for living the lifestyle that we do. And I know a lot of you have come to me saying, what do I do? How can I get them to listen? Well, any prepared person would agree that being prepared for what we do, for survival, whatever, is hard. But convincing our family, our friends, our coworkers, whatever, to get on board is harder. We are often left conflicted because we have the best intentions of keeping our family safe and away from danger, right? However, we don't want to sound like some tinfoil wearing hat person that's obsessing over the end of the world. We're not worried about the world ending. That's not going to happen in our lifetimes. We generally prepare for rational, logical reasons: loss of income, hurricane season, winter storms, blackouts, brownouts, grid down, etc., etc., etc. Things that will actually happen, okay? I am told all the time how family members and friends make fun of you guys, my community members, because you are of the prepared mind. But then these same people, because it's happened to me, who are making fun of us will say, well, if Kaka hits the fan, I'm coming to your house. Oh, no, you're not. If you're not going to heed my warnings, what makes you think I'm going to open that door? So how do you get them to listen, to understand where you're coming from? But before you get too excited about all the prepper stuff and the slang that we use and this, that, and the other that nobody's going to understand but you and I, that because they can't relate to it, right? It would be wise to sit down with them and explain what prepping is all about and why it's crucial. A word of warning though, expect your household, your friends, your family, your coworkers to be skeptical about the whole topic and call you nuts and this, that, and the other. A doomsday scenario like a zombie apocalypse, if because they watch The Walking Dead, it's not going to convince them. Why? Because it's not real, right? Even though if you were to look at some of our homeowners insurance policies, we are covered for a zombie apocalypse, but I'll go on. It's not going to make them consider prepping. But disasters that are closer to home, like hurricanes, wildfires, will. Or you can use my explanation and explain it to them the way that I explain it to people. And this rebuttal wins every argument every single time. Explain preparing as if it's an insurance policy. We have homeowners insurance, car insurance. Heck, some of us even have insurance on our cell phones. And why do we carry insurance? In case something happens, right? A winter storm comes through. And I'm using a winter storm. Why? Because we're in winter, okay? A winter storm comes through. There's too much snow on the roof. What happens? The roof caves in, right? What do? You call your insurance company and you put a claim in, right? God forbid you get into a car accident. What do? You call your insurance company, you put in a claim. Well, preparing is the same way. You lose your job. The money you have in the bank is all you have to cover your bills. Now you don't have to worry about food or hygiene products or cleaning supplies, etc., etc., etc. Why? Because you've been prepping. So now you're sitting there going, they're not going to listen. Oh, they still won't bat an eye? Okay. Then hit them with realities. Hit them with the reality of the pandemic that no one saw coming. If that doesn't convince your family, your friends, your coworkers to start prepping for survival, then I don't know what will. And I know you can't beat a dead horse. I know, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I know, I get it, I hear you. But everybody learned a lesson from the pandemic. Everybody. I don't want to hear it. Nobody learned. Everybody learned. Disasters can happen at any time, often with no warning. So here are some reminders of why it's important to gear up. Being prepared can significantly reduce the fear, the anxiety, the danger, the losses that your family may face. Preparing can also help lessen the impact of the disaster, and sometimes it avoids the risk entirely if you're lucky. One thing that might discourage your family from getting into a caca, hit the fan prepping is the amount of money that it'll cost them. I know, I've been there, and I know you have too. Truth be told, though, it doesn't come cheap. Prepper things like building a survival pantry. You've seen mine, right? Gathering your arsenal for survival gear. Honestly, leave that stuff on the back burner for right now. You don't need it. I've got it, and it's collecting dust. I'll never use it. Okay? All that stuff is going to do is hurt your pockets. Don't worry about that stuff. Worry about the stuff that you're actually going to need and use every single day. You're not going to need a flip-flopping gas mask right now. Okay? Just saying. I know it's going to take up a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money. But here's the thing. You don't have to do everything all at once. And I don't think they realize that because their brain is not on the same level as ours, especially when you're just beginning. Try encouraging your family members to start small. You can actually prep for $5 a week. I've taught you guys how to do that. Your loved ones can also take it day by day, and they'll be surprised at the progress that they make after a few months. But let's be honest. No matter how much you try to convince them, some of them, they're not going to budge. But at least you've done your part. You're part of educating your kin, your friends, your coworker. Now let it be up to them. If they still don't budge, don't answer that door. As far as caca hit the fan prepping is concerned, you and your spouse, your kids, that's what matters the most. If you're taking care of one of your elders, that's what matters the most. Focus on them, not everybody else. Even if they're not gung-ho about preparedness, what are you going to do? Prep for yourself and then eat in front of them and said, sorry, you should have listened to me. No, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that to your husband, your wife, and your kids. What's wrong with you? You would never do that, right? I mean, unless, of course, you're going through a divorce, but I highly doubt that right now. But if all else fails and they still won't listen, send them over to me, to my channel. I'll convince them. You know I'm really good at that. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one, okay? You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fearless. Ciao.